Hi everyone, how are you? I wanted to jump in here briefly and just share a little note on narcissism and taking back your power. So, especially when it comes to things of convenience that are, things that you maybe even love, whether it be a home that you love living in, you love an area, or a workplace, specific items, or the benefits that come with being with that particular person. And what I've learned very recently and I've learned over the years, but I just had to relearn it very recently, and I was a little bit bummed because I did have to and do have to let go of things that I love, the beach being right behind me at the end of the street, the beautiful home environment that is aesthetically pleasing, with lots of beautiful plants around and things like that, that were just beautiful, beautiful to be around, and a nice looking home and things like that. Though I wanted to share this because it's important, and it's important for our our freedom and sanity, and to maintain your sense of personal power. And so what I want to say to you is, God's not effing with you of giving you one thing but then being a double-edged sword. So sometimes, even if it's there's lots of perks and benefits, sometimes it's the party life, lots of dinners and high-end sort of lifestyle and things like that. Though what I want to say is, sometimes the greatest lesson of this is detachment, and detaching from material things and so-called, just like I'm saying, benefits, because if you are sharing that these things are important to you, or that you love them and things like that, then sometimes you can really back yourself into a corner in these sort of relationships, and you really do feel powerless because you want to stay for all the beautiful reasons that you love that place, that life, that, and you want to maintain it. And I know though sometimes taking back your personal power in that situation, finding other means and things like that, temporarily still come away, work back on your self-worth, take back your power, and then try and get those things yourself. Like God puts, and I say God, but the universe, whatever you want to say, it's just a word, it's just terminology that we can understand and fathom that magnitude of something more than ourselves and this flesh body suits that we get to walk around in for now. And so we all get dreams put in our hearts, we all get ideas, aspirations, inspiration, and we all have a purpose. So come away and find your self-worth again, build yourself back up, and find your purpose, find your thing. And trust me, God's just not punishing you because you seemingly had a little bit of a raw end of the deal, and maybe your self-worth is a little bit low. That doesn't mean that you are destined in this lifetime to just be set up for punishment in this bittersweet kind of life, that sometimes it's good, sometimes it's really shit, even when it's good on paper. So this is where and I can't stress this enough, like I know I've said it about 4 times already, but detaching from these things really does give you back your power, and just making it seem, keep it, have the control, have the place, just keep it. And the detachment and the letting go, and even the letting go of the heartbreak, the disappointment, the letdown, and especially even, when you felt that this was somebody that you could finally trust, and you could finally let go, and finally share things with, and be vulnerable. That, it's like sometimes, unfortunately, and I've done a lot of tidying up, but I feel that this was a last lesson. I'm hoping it was a last lesson. When we maybe have had abandonment issues in our own life, our upbringing mightn't have been that stable and things like that, then sometimes we do make ourselves, without even knowing, obviously no one requests this, but we make ourselves a little bit susceptible, or a lot bit susceptible, to some people that prey on that particular energy. And we wear our hearts on our sleeves, and we feel we have to overshare because we think that's the thing to do, of being such an honest person and an open person. Though sometimes when we're sharing all of those things, it's being downloaded, and it's being banked, but not for the right reasons. And so I just want to say, let it go. Let it go, and work on yourself, and start with self-love, self-care, self-worth, because when you feel and remember and know what it's like to have a sound nervous system, then you can feel what it feels like when you have that rocked, or when you don't feel quite right, or when you feel exhausted around a certain person. And so I just wanted to put these words here, and I'm just going to start sharing as my lessons unfold and these downloads unfold as my personal experiences, that I know I'm not the only one that's going through these things, and I know I'm not the only one that needs help with these things. And sometimes some things are an inside job, and sometimes you do need to reach out and educate yourself, research things a little bit, or find a healer, a coach, a therapist. None of those things should have any kind of a shame attached to them. They are necessary sometimes, though still doing a bit of groundwork in the background on your things and your story, and understanding why you even attract those things in, and it's not you, it's not your fault. Then you can start to understand how to unravel those things, how to prevent those things, and be selective who you choose to be around and who you choose to spend your time and your energy with, especially spend your energy with or on. So it was just about 3 things, and I went to share, and now I've gone blank. So, and that's another thing too, I just want to say, so when you, again, with self-worth and knowing yourself and arming yourself with insight on yourself. So myself, ADHD brain, I do get forgetful sometimes, I do overshare sometimes, I do stammer my words on occasion. So those things can seem like weaknesses that we feel that, we fall into the I'm not enough category, or those things can equal low self-confidence or low self-worth. Though remember, all of your strengths, all of your gifts, all of your beauty, all of your talents, all of your beautiful qualities, write them down, and read them to yourself frequently. And these are ways, again, just to arm yourself and remind yourself when you're in and you're caught up in this so-called, in this world, but, in these kind of worlds, but these illusions. And when we go to get crippled by fear, because leaving, sometimes they chip away, and we end up lower, and we lose another part of ourselves temporarily. But this is how you gain yourselves back. And this is the things that you've got to work towards. And it's like anything. It's like even the situation that you're in. it doesn't happen overnight. You know, you don't just wake up the next morning and your life shit. Or you don't wake up the next day and that person's treating you like shit. It's gradual and it's subtle. So is building yourself back up again. It's like that first trip to the gym. You don't walk away with muscles. So it's that same kind of thing. Working on yourself, it's gradual, and you got to be gentle. You know, even after like a hardcore session at the gym, some days you need a little repair day or two. So I'm not much of a gym person myself, though, you know, just even now going for a beautiful walk along the beach, and I know the beach isn't a luxury that everybody has, but just find, it does not matter, just find your little spot, you know, that you can just go and sit even cross-legged on the grass somewhere. Drive yourself to the bush, to nature, the botanical gardens, whatever, you know, just walk past, go for a walk down the street and just look at that person's home that you love their garden, you know, it all counts. And even just movement is massive, because movement gives you clarity, and when you've got clarity, you're not second guessing yourself so much, you're not sitting in your own stuff, that when somebody has a little attack at you, when somebody does chip away at you, you're not almost agreeing with them. So anyways, there was another point I wanted to share, but it sort of glimpsed back at me. Anyways, I will share that soon, because lots to be said. So happy healing and have a beautiful weekend.